Welcome to the Through the Lane podcast with your host, Lane. Sorry it's been a minute. We're covering it now after Game 3 of the finals. Been very busy with work and just struggled to have time to really do this and edit it and get it out in a timely manner. Carmine, I don't know if we haven't had him for an episode. He's busy. We're both busy, so I don't know if he'll be with us still or not. That is something we're going to be talking about soon. And we're also on the table is taking a small break after the finals to get everything together and then start back up about 2 weeks after. But starting off the NBA finals, it's 3-0 right now and it does not look good. Kyrie has not done good for the first two games. KP was really good in the first two games. Kristaps Porzingis, and then Luka. We'll dive into Game 3 with Luka, and then kind of my rant with Luka. But so KP has a really rare injury where I don't know what they call it, but it's very scary. And they don't know, he's day-to-day, but they say it's a very serious injury, which is weird that he's day-to-day, but it's very serious. So we're still kind of wondering, has a rare leg injury, questionable for Game 3. The games have been close, but Game 3 we're going to get into in a second. But, let's look. Because it has a weird name. Posterior tibialis tendon in his left leg. It's day-to-day. He could wear a sleeve and a brace on his left ankle. Some guys take long times to do it. Porzingis says he doesn't really want to miss time, but due to the severity of the injury, they're making him. Frank Mazzulla said that it's out of his hands, and I mean that is true. It is out of his hands, sadly, but yeah, he really good so far in the finals. I'm looking up the box scores. But he came off the bench, had double-digit points in both, and really just had a massive impact defensively because he's really tall. And so, you would hope that he would have a very big defensive impact. We'll go ahead and go. I don't really want to go into Game 3 so far, but it's the easier thing to do. And this is going to kind of segue into it. Jayson Tatum, outside of last night, has been himself. Joe Mazzulla, and this is kind of getting on my nerves. Jayson Tatum's overrated. He's very talented, yes, but he just disappears in critical moments of the game. He does not have the moment mentality in him. He's not a killer. I know he shows flashes of it. Like, everyone's like, oh, he had a really good game. Well, okay, that's one game. Like, yeah, last night was really good, but I need pieces. Everybody. Jeremy Lin had a great few games. Doesn't make him an MVP. You can have really good averages, but I need to see you be a closer and just close the game out. Jaylen Brown seems to be the closer. He had 30. Yeah, and here's the thing, too. Jaylen Brown's had 30 points. Without Jaylen Brown, the Celtics don't make it past the Pacers, and they're not 3-0 right now. Man, and they went an 8-man bench. Yeah. Dude, I'd be worried for the Celtics next year that this may take a toll. But right now it's 3-0. I believe the Celtics win. So bad look. Bad look. Jason, I'm going to go on this. So, Joe Mazzulla, he said Jayson Tatum's probably playing at his best. No, he's not. Yeah, he's got a triple-double, but that's because he's figuring out what he's maturing. Jason's maturing, but he's not at his best. His best would be a 30-something point triple-double, not a 18, 10, and 11. Like, okay, it was on bad efficiency, too. And Jaylen Brown is kind of like just carrying. Jaylen Brown, 30, 8, and 8 with a block. Jayson Tatum, 31, 6, 5, and a steal. Again, he was 11 to 26. Jayson Tatum is so overrated. He was 11 to 26. I mean, he's chucking. He was 4 of 13 from 3. Jaylen Brown was 12 of 22. He made one extra basket, and he did it with 4 less shots. Now, he was 2 of 9 from 3, credit, but still, Jayson Tatum, when he goes off, it's not efficient, and that's an issue. He had 31 points, but how many shots did he take? If it isn't for Luka, and we're going to go into him in just a second, because I've been calling this kind of just crapping the bed, and really, they need it. They need a better 3. And their bench being terrible. Holy cow. Tim Hardaway, no points. Max Kleber, no points. 11 points from Derek Lively. He had a double-double. Daniel Gafford, 3 rebounds, kind of non-existent. They went so deep into the bench trying to find somebody to spark a run that, because both guys kind of went off. Luka was, we'll go into him in just a second. But Jayson Tatum, I hate this when they're saying, like, oh, he's getting too much crap. No, he's not, because when he goes, he runs his mouth, and then he doesn't back it up. The 2022 finals was like the we're saying, oh, he may, come around, and he failed. And I think I put the 2022 finals, it was more Steph Curry, but I think a major part in that led Steph Curry the door, Jayson Tatum not being being a closer, him not knowing how to close. And I hate seeing where they're like, Jayson Tatum's a top 5 player. No, he's not. No, he's not. He shows flashes. He's got the potential, but he can't put it together. They've had to build a stupid super team together to be able to win this. If he was a top 5 player, you don't need that. You can say, "Whoa, it's the East." It's the least. The East is it's the worst conference in basketball, and it's not even close. Not even close to the West. The West had like 3 50-win teams. The Celtics were the only 50-plus win team. They had 64. The rest were like 49, 45. Like, it's ridiculous. You can't. It's getting so old, and I'm getting tired of people being upset, like, defending him. Like, no. Brother, he was, what was he? Let's look at this. 11 to 26. That's maybe 44%. Jaylen Brown was 12 of 22. That was probably like 55%. He was 4 of 13. He had 2 turnovers. It just doesn't look good. This is a super team. And I think he's overrated. Do I think he's a star? Yes. Do I think he's a low-grade superstar? Yeah. I think Jayson Tatum's a low-grade superstar. But if I had to pick Jayson Tatum or Anthony Edwards. Jayson Tatum, Victor Wembanyama. Jayson Tatum, Luka Doncic. It's a toss-up. Jayson Tatum, Cade Cunningham. Jayson Tatum, Shea. Because I see they close. I want my superstar to close. I want to be able to give them and then play both ways. And Jayson Tatum can't. On to the Luka Doncic thing.
Well, I think he is maybe one of the best players in the world, yes. If not the best player in the world. And that's why it's frustrating. Because he didn't give a winning performance. He can talk about the 5th and 6th fouls. He probably should have gotten 3 or 4 technical fouls last night. The veteran crew that did this game stayed out of giving him technicals. If this was a regular season game, he might have been ejected because of the way he was acting to the officials. How many times did he take himself out of plays where he didn't get back defensively because he was complaining about officiating? This is something that's happening over and over. And he's had to apologize for it and say he's going to do better. But this is the NBA Finals. The standard here is enormous. And that's the thing. The Celtics are a team that has been through the trials and tribulations. They've been through the frustrations, and they've risen above it. They have earned with the position that they're in. What we're saying here is this is something that Luka is learning. He needs to use this as a learning experience. This can end up being a positive. I can look into the future and be 2 years from now and see Luka holding the Bill Russell trophy in one hand and the Larry O'Brien trophy in the other and say, you know what, back in 2024, I wasn't ready to win and I had to learn how to do it. That's what I'd like to see. But my thing is, I have now seen this exact script play out repeatedly where in these really important games, he's not on the floor. Can't happen again.
Man, he's throwing hissy fits. And my brother has said this, that he kind of just whines at the ref consistently about every call, and he does. But I brought this up early in the playoffs, and that Luka Doncic can't play defense. So bad that he's a hole, and they've been taking advantage of him all 3 games, just bullying him. Because and it's not like he can't. We saw against the Clippers where he had 2 games where he locked them up. They were like 1-27 against him. It's there, but the unwillingness, and this is where I start to hate Luka, is because it's like he puts up empty stats. Yes, he drops 36, 13, and 12. But, brother, the defensive stats are not there, and offense can carry you so far. Something I've learned as I've gotten older watching basketball is defense is huge. Yes, we have these high-scoring games, but there's something called timely defense, where you've got to be able to lock in. Anthony Edwards is great at it. Top notch, where he locks in and he looks like an all defensive player. Blocking shots, stealing, just, keeping guys from getting anywhere. Luka, he had those 2 games. It's not there. It's not there, and then he's complaining about the refs. I'm putting this on a lot on Luka. Now, the first 2 games were Kyrie, but game 3 is on Luka, 100%. He goes off for 27, 6 and 6. Yet he fouls out. You foul out. How do you foul out? You're 11-27. That's worse than Jayson Tatum. You want to be the MVP. I need defense from you. And me and Carmine talked about this. His defense is suspect. Defense is suspect. I get it, Steph Curry didn't play defense, but Steph Curry at least tried. You weren't seeing him foul out. You weren't seeing him making stupid fouls. Like one of the last fouls he had. What are we doing? Why are you yelling at your bench to effing challenge that? Brother, you're the idiot that's getting fouled. What are you doing? This is insane. He was 1-7 from 3. 4 for 4. This is a game where Anthony Edwards, and Anthony Edwards is growing on me. Lock in defensively. When you're being this inefficient, you've got to lock in defensively. And I don't need, all NBA defense. I just need something. And this has always been the issue with Luka. And then always, as the season wears on, this is the thing that gets with me. He's lumbering. Not like Jokic, like he's hurt. He's out of shape. He plays into shape. I am so tired of Luka playing into shape. Why? Why can't you be in shape to start the season? Why? He has, and watching ESPN, so many bad habits. So many. It's insane. He complains to the refs. He doesn't play defense. He plays himself into shape. He gets lazy. He's not that much of a leader. Kyrie has been the leader of the team. Now, yes, Kyrie was absent in the first 2 games. But he had 16 and then 22. Okay, I think the Celtics just outplayed him in games 1 and 2. You lost by 7. Luka, you can make some defensive plays that can save you 7 points, and you can be more efficient. Figure out ways. Work yourself into the game. Like Anthony Edwards, LeBron does it. KD, where you just know, I'm off. I got to lock in. A fast break. Easy layups. You know how those are started? Defense. But Luka can't do that. Because he's either banged up, he's having cortisone shots, or Toradol, something like that. Because he's somehow always hurt because he's not in his peak physical condition. You can say whatever you want to. He's not. He's a smaller version of Jokic. The issue is Jokic is smarter. And I think that's just Jokic's peak ability. I think that's how it is. Luka Doncic, though? No. I just not enough. This is unacceptable. You can say, well, he dropped 27 points. Yeah, 11 and 27. He take 27 shots. You better have 27 points. But what did you do for me defensively? They're picking on you. They try to pick on Steph, but Steph will at least put his body out there. He draws charges. He gets steals. He gets in the passing lanes. He does something. Luka doesn't do anything. And this irritated me. And Carmine was like, well, look, he's doing really good against the Clippers. Yeah, but that's not enough. And I get it, you're hurt. Everyone's hurt. No one's body feels good this deep in the playoffs. Nobody. Maybe the Celtics because they've blown through the East. They got lucky. But now you're handing one of, I would say, worst playing championship winners will have. You're just handing it to. Because their offense does not flow. Their offense does not flow. I mean, they're two-man gaming it. Derek White looks good. But, it's rough. They don't have any depth, dude. Like, KP, if you put the Nuggets, Timberwolves, or Thunder against this team, it's a different series. I think that they peaked in the conference final. They peaked. Okay, round 2 and 3 and made it 4. I think the Timberwolves peaked round 1 and 2. I think the Thunder Thunder's inexperience got them. Because my one question was, and I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, was how would the Thunder respond to losing? Because they swept the first round. This is a team that outside of Shea and, Lou Dort, Kendrick Williams, not been in the playoffs at all. So I wanted to see how that team responded. Well, the Mavericks had it, and they got heat. But now they can't get anybody help. They need a third star. I don't think P.J. Washington's here. I think P.J. Washington's better suited as a role player. Derek Lively looks like a unit of a center. They got to figure out starting him or Daniel Gafford. I think Lively works, but let's look at the minutes. 30 minutes from Lively, 16 from Daniel Gafford. They got 16 minutes of Derrick Jones Jr. I like Derrick Jones Jr. He's an exciting player to watch. He's high flyer, plays great defense, but is he a starter? I mean, I think so, yes, but you need the third star if he's if he's a starter. You just need one. Because he can make up on defense, but he's a whole offensively. P.J. Washington, 8 rebounds, no blocks, no steals, 13 points, 3 of 9, 33%. He's 50% from 3. Missed 2 free throws. But Luka's plus 9 on the court. But come on, dude. This is on you. You're the superstar. They are turning to you in hopes you will take them to the promised land. And what are you doing? Flailing your arms around. Just lumbering around. Brother, you need just 7 games. And then you can go to Cancun. Shoot, you'll be parading through your town. I just don't. He's lazy. Luka's lazy. I think he's lazy. And I think because he can do so well offensively, because this has always been the issue with Luka in the past years, that they just don't see enough from him defensively, and he kind of just lumbers through, and then he'll, step back 3 and start, sniping away. He's got a killer instinct more than Jayson Tatum, but Jayson Tatum at least plays 2 ways. Luka does not. He can. I mean, the cat's out of the bag now. He probably should not have. They needed him to play defense against the Clippers. He did it. I mean, he locked down Kawhi and PGS at times, and James Harden. They're 1 at 27 in 2 games. Where's that at? I don't need 1 at 27. I need 3 at 10, 2 at 10. 1 at 5. I need something instead of them. They are targeting him. That's why he's in foul trouble. And it's just bad, man. It's bad. Looking at this, I mean, man, they've got 2 bench guys they can play. Josh Green, Derek Lively. So you'd have to run a 7-man. But here's the thing with Luka. He's so lazy. I don't think he's in peak shape. He's lumbering around. He's gassed. I mean, there were times in the Timberwolves series where they had to take him out because he was so tired. But, yeah, you have, and I get it, he played a 5-6 game series against Clippers. But the Timberwolves played a hard 7-game series before you. And their guys aren't doing that. Why? What is... Luka has such bad habits, and I saw something that, something's got to happen. Either this is a wake-up call or it's not, and it's going to be he's going to be the new James Harden. Great offensively, can be really good or good on defensively, average at least, and it doesn't do it, and it's just awful in the big-time moments. Now, yes, he's made more finals than Harden. Now, Harden was a 6-man of that Thunder team, and they had KD, Russell. So we exclude that finals. We're talking Rockets on a He has more finals appearances now. But what has he done in it? It's empty stats at this point. And it's exhausting. It is insane. But to get off my high horse, because we have a little bit to talk about, and I may circle back around to it. Dan Hurley rejected the... dude, this was big. I had a feeling, I don't know if I said this in the last episode, that he wasn't going to take it. He gassed up UConn too much to just dip. I felt like it would have been wrong if he just left. But also, he just seems... Man, there's a clip, and I might put it in there if I can find it, where he's like, ah, and then he stops and shakes coach's hand. That'd not be accepted in the NBA. He plays with too much fire. And it's a shame that the NBA is like that, because we need coaches like him. The Lakers could use him as a coach. And what's wild is, J.J. Redick then was getting shafted in all of this, kind of being like, yeah, he wasn't a top candidate. And now I just saw before I started recording, they are interviewing J.J. Redick. I'm J.J. Redick. I'm like, I don't know if I should take y'all. Then there's James Borrego. James Borrego, I think, was wrongfully fired from Charlotte because I think they were in the play-in or the playoffs one of his years. So they were building towards it. Now, everyone was liking their improvement, but they had a down year. Injuries killed them, and, stuff like that. Usually the head coach gets chopped. But, yeah, Dan Hurley, and he's going to get it, he's pretty much getting a lifetime contract at UConn. I don't blame him. Why leave such a great situation and go to, let's be honest, the Lakers don't have any first-round picks, so they're not getting, infuse the young talent like that. They're probably going to trade away this year's first-round pick, so again, bringing another veteran. Gabe Vincent does not look like a great signing. Jared Vanderbilt's injury prone. Christian, they couldn't figure out the backup center rotation. D'Angelo Russell is a hole defensively and is hot or cold offensively. Austin Reeves we're starting to figure out. Ray Hachimura is a solid role player. Max Christie he's a fringe rotational player. I think they're hoping too much, and he's not developed well. Their first round pick from last year looks terrible. Just horrendous. LeBron's on his way out. AD is getting older. Why do you want this job? I think it has to be. If I'm James Borrego, I'm not taking it. If J.J. Redick, I'm looking at 3 years, and you've got 3-year window to make this work. And I think he's best if you're going short term, because I think he can maximize the talent. Long term, Dan Hurley was your guy. James Borrego's the dude. I just don't think. I understand it's the Lakers, but this is a whole. They don't have any first round picks really. And the first round picks they have, when the draft opens up, it's trading them away. And something that can help championship teams is just young athletic talent. I'm trying to think of one. We saw it. You see with the Heat, the young talent. You see with the Nuggets with Peyton Watson, Christian Braun, guys like that. The Warriors, when they had Kuminga, and this year, Tracy Jackson Davis. And Brandon Povjeski. They're just young talent. They're just bouncing around. The Milwaukee Bucks are a template of what happens when you don't get good first-round picks and you're not developing and you're just not hitting the head. The team starts to slow away because you need that young athletic talent. I'm trying to think of another one. The Thunder are just athletic, out the wazoo. Yeah, that's about it. You just want a guy that can just inject life. Schofield, I don't know. Hood, we're just going to call him Hood. Does not look good. Brother shoots like this. He looks like I'm playing basketball. He kind of dribbles too much. I don't know where the Lakers go from this. I would say, I know you kind of given the middle finger to J.J. Redick, but you have to at least give him the shot. Because what do you have to lose? You're not going anywhere soon. The long-term future looks bleak. The head coach, it's going to take a miracle. So the head coach that's going to get hired now is most likely getting chopped when LeBron retires. Because you'd have to tear the roster down and rebuild around 80. So you'd have to, I think you your two cornerstones would be AD and Austin Reeves. 6-man type of guy and a superstar. That is aging. So he'll be like 35, 34, 33 maybe. I don't know how old he is. By the time he's 31, so he'll be 33, 34 by the time LeBron retires. What do you do? He's signed. I mean, are you going to let him go? You're stuck with him now. Because the LeBron and AD are going to follow, they're going to mirror each other. So then when LeBron leaves, 2 years, we'll say 33, 34, anybody really going to give you big haul for AD? Because he'll be old and he's not a big deal. I don't think so. So I guess you hold on to him and you trade away Gabe Vincent, Rui, Jared Vanderbilt, and hope you hit on a first-round pick. It's just the Lakers, I don't know, man. I think Dan Hurley was smart to not take it. I know it was serious consideration, but, you got a great situation at UConn. Dude has, just droves of talent, and now everyone wants to go there because he's such a fun coach to be around. It's like the Nick Saban, Kirby Smart thing, where it's like, dog of a coach, wonderful man to be around. I think we're seeing a rise of Dan Hurley, the next version of Coach K, John Calipari. Don't get me started on John Calipari. Of those guys where it's just units, wonderful just coaching gurus, but then wonderful men that make you want to be there. I think that's Dan Hurley. I think it's perfect for UConn. UConn develops well basketball-wise, men's and women's. And I think it's, great. I'm happy he stayed. It would have been a hit for college basketball for him to leave, especially with the one and done starting to look worse. College basketball starting to rise back up. And I think, because of the NIL money. But it's good to see Dan Hurley stay. I'm happy that he's getting an extension from UConn. The Lakers, the roster is shambles. It's a terrible roster. You take LeBron and AD out of it, and it's the worst roster in the league. So, and I know you can say, well, you take so-so out of the team, but I'm saying, there's no talent. There's nobody where I'm like, Austin Reeves, sure, but, he can't be my 3-star. He can't be my third option. He can be my 6-man or a very solid role player. Speaking of, let's just look up what he averaged. Because I don't know. Did I misspell his name? I've somehow misspelled his name. What? Oh, there's an A. Okay. Alright. I just was given the biggest middle finger by Google. 15.9 points. It's solid. 13 points last year. He started more this year. Very efficient. I would like to see the 3-point percentage get up a little bit higher. He's a solid player. He's a glue guy, but I want more. He's not enough. Jared Vanderbilt, when healthy, solid. I like Jared Vanderbilt. Christian Wood should have been playing more than they gave him. I don't care what analytics has a place in sports, yes, but sometimes the eye test, like Montrezl Harrell, yes, he's terrible defensively, but brother, him and Lou Williams gave you an energy off the bench that was just infectious. And I think you're seeing a Clippers team without the bench, because they kind of let those guys walk. A lot of things have happened to them that, they struggle now. And I just don't think the Lakers have the bench to do it. And we'll kind of probably just double back to basketball later. Darren Waller has retired. And if you know anything about Darren Waller just got in a divorce. And then came out with a music video, and I can't tell you how cringy that is. It's an alright song, but brother, you're a bit of a drama queen. Cut it out. And he had those 2 really good years. I looked at this, and I was like, because he's kind of played for Baltimore for a few years. And, he had 2 great years where he blew up with the Raiders. and then 11 games, 9 games, 12 games. It's never the same. He was a bit of a late bloomer, but it's like he was a bit overpaid. A lot of injuries to him. I think we're going to see the tight end market kind of turn into the running back market. I think the tight ends can make it towards the end of their second contract. Running backs can't usually. And I think you're going to see that the market's going to diminish, that you can get a very solid tight end. There's also, like, the Raiders, they got to figure out what they're going to do. Michael Mayer is going to eventually be available. Speaking of Raiders, I want to see if Hunter Renfrow is still available. He's a really good slot player. He's a good second complimentary receiver. 1,000 yards on his resume. So yeah, is he a free agent? Yes. And that is insane. I just thought that the Eagles would be perfect for him. The Chiefs would be another perfect thing to happen. Sorry, this one website has a lot of sports news. But again, like, he should be available. Oh, there's a lot of skipping. We'll get into the Jets thing in a minute. But I think the Eagles would be great for Hunter Renfrow, or the Chiefs, or the Lions, or the Jets. The team that needs a very veteran receiver that can be a number one, like a makeshift number one, not your everyday number one, but kind of give you a stretch. But then also just provide. He has 1,000 yards on his resume, 1,000-yard season. And I just really like him. He's just a solid dude, solid player. I think he's one of the better. He's a really good receiver. I know he doesn't have anything to, Oh, I just saw it. Ravens, Chargers, someone else, Bills. The Bills could use him so badly. Hunter Renfrow to the Bills. I'd say the Bills should sign Hunter Renfrow. I'm going to write this down. That the Bills should sign Hunter Renfrow because he's such a solid. You put him, Keelan Coleman. Let's look at the Bills' receiving room. And I know we're getting off Darren Waller. Darren Waller's, we'll double back into it towards him in a second. It's Khalil Shakur, Keelan Coleman, MVS, Chase Claypool, KJ Hamler, Curtis Samuel. So, I mean, it's solid, but, like, Curtis Samuel as my number 4 receiver, or Khalil Shakur. Hunter Renfrow. The Chargers. Let's look at the Chargers. Let's look at the Chargers depth chart. So they may need him more. Yeah. But, Darius Davis, Brendan Rice, DJ Chark, but, like, you bump Brendan Rice down to a practice squad guy. Hunter Renfrow. I'm not sold on Quinn Johnson. Like, I believe the Bills or the Eagles or the Chargers need him. Quinn Johnson almost dropped about half of his reception targets. He had 2 touchdowns, 431 yards. It just didn't. It was very subpar production throughout the year. And I think they could really use him on the roster. Back to the Darren Waller thing. He had a solid career. Congrats to him for the career because a lot of guys struggle to get there. Wish him the best. Wish that he gets better mentally. I think he struggled with some mental health stuff. Great story coming back from addiction, stuff like that. So wish him the best. Please don't make another song. I know my name won't, probably won't hear about this, but good Lord, dude, don't. That's just, I've made some dumb decisions, and that was probably up there for me. But I just, the Giants, golly, let's go to this real quick. New York Giants depth chart. Because now here's your tight end. Daniel Bellinger. And they have Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Wandell Moore. Darius Slayton, though, they got to pay him. Jalen Hyatt, Isaiah McKenzie. Jack Stoll, but like, do you want Jack Stoll? Left guard for the guard positions for the Giants too. A little bit of a concern. But, I mean, they can be a solid team. Let me look up top free. Is anybody good? I know someone just... Jimmy Graham. Yeah, no, it's not. So you're stuck, pretty much. But, I mean, the Giants, they have a solid roster. Devin Singletary's really... I like that big pickup. Drew Lock is the backup, and then Tommy DeVito. I'm worried Tommy DeVito will lose his roster spot. I know someone would pick him up. They also have Miles Boykin. Wow. Oh, he's still in the league. Yeah, the guard spots, I think, would be something, Jalen Mayfield. Oh, the Falcons lineman. They already cut bait. Wow, yeah, they cut him last year. I was unaware of that. But Jalen Mayfield's got potential to play guard. I know he played a lot of tackle for the Falcons and then moved inside. But I think the Giants, we're getting off topic here, and this will be, training camp, kind of just going into this. I do love the Brian Bird opposite side of Thibodeau, Bobby Okereke, great, Dexter Lawrence, pretty darn good nose tackle. Secondary could use a little bit of help. Dante Banks is solid. Tyler Nubbin is all right. Second round pick this year. So it's a rookie. Free safety, they could use some help. Slot, I mean, they just need a little bit more help. Nunez Roches. Is this the guy that played? No, wrong dude. Brother's got a grill. On his picture. But yeah, I think the Giants are an interesting team. There will be an episode where I kind of just go in depth and look at depth charts and stuff and look at. It'll be kind of a nerdy episode. But yeah, where me or Carmine, we just go and kind of break down team by team, kind of like what I just did with the Bills, Chargers, and Giants. But on to the next. We're about halfway through. Hey, Sean, the Jets are in an interesting situation. I know we keep talking about them, and I know it's like it never gets better. But Hassan Reddick has not shown up to anything. But he says he's committed to the team. I don't think he was. I think he wanted to be an Eagle. I know he was very happy that they gave him the opportunity and really put him in his best spot defensively. He kind of broke out, but like. He just hasn't shown up to anything, and that's not really good. And it's inexcused absence. It should be unexcused, but Robert Sala said inexcused. I think there's a little chaos inside there. Aaron Rodgers is not at minicamp. He's had, no one knows where Aaron Rodgers is. I saw Pat McAfee say, and I might put this in like here.
On the clip from Coach Sala.
Is Hassan Reddick attending minicamp?
No, so we've got 2 inexcused absences.
Pause. Inexcused is obviously not a word. Okay, we know that. Unexcused is the word. We were all confused. Inexcusable, certainly something. And I don't want to say it is inexcusable, especially when you know this word is the most important word to get it wrong. But nonetheless, he's talking unexcused for the rest of this time, AJ.
And obviously, being Hassan, I spoke to him over the weekend. Appreciate the dialogue. He's in a really good place mentally, working his tail off like we already know. He's choosing to.
He's working hard.
Sit out this
we appreciate him.
The second one is Aaron. Aaron and I spoke before OTA started. He's been very good in communication. He's been here the entire time. It's inexcused, but he had an event that was very important to him, which he communicated.
Both are inexcused.
Both inexcused. Yes.
So are they getting fined?
They're both subject to the CBA fine schedule.
All right, AJ, listen. Coach, you tell him. Is he in a teepee somewhere right now?
I have no idea where the opportunities are endless. He could be anywhere on the planet right now. We don't know what that could be.
He's in the Arctic right now, potentially, with Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, you never know.
I just think this is an interesting angle for Coach Sala to go into, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, he could have worded it a little better, no question about it.
just a clip of, Pat McAfee being like, is he in a TP? Is he in a TP? Because he might be. And I think it's kind of ridiculous that he's not at camp because he's just coming off torn Achilles. I would love for him to be working on that. But let me look at Hassan Reddick's stats. We're 11 sacks last year. I mean, very solid. Very solid. He has 58 career sacks. He's 29, still really young. He just hasn't shown up to camp, and it's kind of worrisome that he hasn't shown up to camp because I know he wasn't thrilled on being traded there, but yeah, let's not look at we're not going to look at the Jets' skilled players. That's going to be talked about a lot because I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, oh, it's rough. They got two pretty darn good receivers, two really good running backs, tight end, and that third receiver spot is rough, and left guard is rough. Defensively though, good lord, Javon Kinlaw, Jermaine Johnson, Quentin Williams, Hassan Reddick, Jamin Sherwood, C.J. Johnson, C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams, Quentin Williams' brother, Sauce Gardner, Chuck Clark, Tony Adams, and DJ Reed. They could probably use, this is the GM side of me. They probably could use some help at safety. A little more no commodities, but yeah. And then also, I will put this here. Let me write this down. There's a guy, he ran out on the field, hugged somebody, I forgot who it is, and then as he's running, the cop gets to him, he does a backflip, and then the cop got him. That's what I originally thought. Then there's
A Cincinnati Reds kid streak on the field, do a backflip, and then land it perfectly with no shoes on. And then he would go on to get tased out of his life. What's up about here, boys? Yeah. Wait a second. Ooh. Right in the cop's face, and then bang. That taser normally works. Every once in a while, we'll see the zombie out there, and some big drunk doofus will be able to beat the taser. But after you land a backflip, you're not thinking to yourself, I'm about to get about 3,000 watts of electricity right through my spine here in a moment. The cop thought to himself while he's doing the backflip, look at the moxie on this kid. He actually tucked this thing. This guy, what if he right in the face? Both these dudes are Ohio Fox.
video him getting like 3-4 yards out in front of the guy and the cop just tasing him. And then he's at the thing last night and they're like, did you land that? The judge was like, they said you landed the backflip, did you? And he goes, yeah, I landed it. It's an interesting situation. Alcohol. Yeah, it doesn't sound like he remembers most of it. Alcohol probably helped him do that. He listened to his intrusive thoughts. It's a funny video. I will have that on there because I think it's a video worthwhile on there. Before we're going to talk a little bit of baseball because Carmine's not here and I have a little bit more free reign. We're going to talk a little bit. Jerry West sadly passed. It's great, very interesting character from what I've been hearing. Great player, great GM, great advisor. He's going to be the first player that is in the Hall of Fame 3 times, which is wild. He helped make the Warriors dynasty because he threatened to step down from his position with the Warriors if they traded Klay Thompson to Kevin Love. And if you don't know about that, there was a time where they were, before the 3 game got going, that where they were like, we could really use a big to put beside Andrew Bogut. Because I think they just traded Monte Ellis for Bogut, and he was like, no, dude, this guy's special. We don't. I will step down if you trade for Kevin Love and give away Klay Thompson to the Timberwolves, which, what would the NBA look like today? So, yeah, and, his Kobe, where he facilitated bringing Kobe in, he signed Shaq. He signs Phil Jackson after Phil Jackson. I want to know where Phil Jackson coached at, because there's there's a little break in between him and when he leaves the Bulls and when he's with the the Lakers. Yeah, 2 years, and then he signs with the Lakers, and then he goes on. We're not going to talk about Phil Jackson, the GM, because that's Carmine would have to be here for that. But golly, bum, dude, how many times did he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Finished first in the record regular season 15 times. He's an NBA champion 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. Golly, dude, he was inducted in the Hall of Fame as a coach in 2007. Wow. And he's still coaching. And then he went on to win 2 more titles. With Pau Gasol and stuff. So that's, what a great coach. Jerry West. It's very sad it's passing. The man's the logo of the league. You hate to see it. But yeah, on to the next. We're going to move to a segment of baseball. The Dodgers, man, they're pay to win. Pay to win. Highest payroll, pay Shohei, $700 million. The rotation is terrible, though. I mean, terrible. They struggle a lot. There's a lot of injury. Well, it's not terrible. I retract that statement. It's very injury prone. Just a lot of guys are hurt. And the bottom of the lineup is just bad. They got Mookie Betts playing shortstop, and he has a lot of errors, making a lot of just bad plays. When he's a Golden Glove right fielder, which, if you don't know, is like best defensive, in the position is Golden Glove. He's not anywhere close to Golden Glove. Shortstop, having his best offensive season hitting wise, but the bottom third of that lineup, dude, is bad. They're rotating guys through. The bullpen is nicked up. I'm not sure. I'm not sold in the rotations kind of beat up. They're getting help. Bobby Miller and Kershaw's coming back, but it's either going to click or they're going to crumble like they did last year. The Braves right now, we're not going to talk about them. Hurts, man. Any updates? No, my watch doesn't give me any updates, and it's probably because my phone's on. We're not going to talk about the Braves. We're going to talk about the Yankees a little bit, and then it'll be the end of the episode. Longer episode. I'm happy about that. I like having longer episodes. But yeah, the Yankees, man, they're really good. The rotation, there's like Marcus Stroman was an ace for the Cubs as of 2 years ago. Rodon was an ace of the Giants 2 years ago. Garrett Cole, Cy Young winner. Lewis Gill was a top 30 prospect in baseball 3 years ago. Clark Schmidt's a first round pick. That rotation's stupid. Then Clay Holmes is a great closer. Ian Hamilton's one of the better relievers. I think, dude, it's just deep. And then you have Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Volpe, Anthony Rizzo, Austin Wells and Jose Trevino, Gleyber Torres, who has 2 30 home run seasons in his name. Alex Verdugo, who's a really good left fielder. I mean, dude, third base, DJ LeMahieu, and Oswald Cabrera, I think is his name, rotating in between there. It's just a deep team, dude, and they hit bombs. I think they can break the Braves record last year, I think, if they stay healthy. Garrett Cole's coming back, too, this year. The Bronx Bombers are back, baby. The Bronx Bombers are back. The Orioles are a really good team. And that's still without Jackson Holiday being up. And I saw something where they were like, they may trade him for Luis Robert, a great center fielder for the terrible White Sox. But, the ceiling for Jackson Holiday is, borderline Golden Glove, MVP offensively. He's 20 years old. The brother can still... He doesn't hit his prime. We won't say, prime. We'll say his prime is 24. It's the beginning of it. He's still got 4 years. So, there's no need to rush it. I don't think there's any need to trade him away. the Orioles are really good. They got some pitching injuries. I think they'll trade for a starter and reliever at the deadline. We don't know really who's going to be available because, the wild card series got expanded, and so no more teams can play. It's kind of how the NBA with the playing tournament. So you don't really know till like the last week or two. But yeah, man, it's a very good season of baseball this year. That's all for the episode. I mean, we've gone pretty long. There's a good chance that I take a week or two break just to, reset after the finals. And then me and Carl might figure out if Carmine's staying or if he's leaving, because I don't know. Would love for him to stay, but who knows. But yeah. That's the end of the episode. We'll have at least like 2 more episodes out. I want to have 2 more. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. I'll have it out by either tonight. Today's Thursday, just the day after Game 3. I'll be out tonight or tomorrow morning. Just depends on how I feel editing-wise. But yeah, thank you for coming in. The editing also just reminds how many videos I want to put in. But yeah, thank you for watching, and